So anyways, guys, I've talked about these before. These are my Meshtastic devices. Well, some of them. I finally had an opportunity. I speculated, in the real world, handing these out to people that are what I would call non-radio people. And, here's the app. So I was at a hamfest recently. My wife and daughter came to help, and I have these two T1000s. These are commercially bought. The only thing I did was I made the belt holster for them, which is a real nice click in there. So my wife and daughter use these, downloaded the apps on their phone. Basically, I told my daughter it's just like your group chat. Showed her, she figured it out. So all these do is text the location. I showed her the map, my wife and daughter, so they could see my location. We created our own encrypted channel, AES-256 encryption. It's text and location services. And so the benefit is we're at a hamfest. Now, one of the things I've mentioned is like a festival or a concert. One thing is the cell phone might get bogged down because of all the people. So your phone might be kind of useless. Or you could be at a park, a state park, and you don't have cell service. So I just told, I said, Bluetooth this to your phone. I showed them how to run the app. We had the channel, and my wife and daughter liked it because they could communicate with me at the hamfest. They didn't have to listen to all the co-channel, and they could just use their phone. And that's where I think these things shine. Is these are only like $38. You can see how small they are. You could literally, I don't know. We're talking about prepper stuff right now. You could literally get one of these like Apache cases and throw like 10 of these in. It's cheaper than a Bofang. And you go, oh, but a Bofang, yeah, a Bofang, it's about, I don't even know what a Bofang's up to these days. It's going to take up way less space. The learning curve is way lower. And of course, when we were down at the hamfest, I had my truck node. And of course, as I said, these all talk to each other to relay messages. So even though if someone's not part of our encrypted chat, they can't monitor the contents like in a man in the middle. It'll relay the message, but without that encryption key that has been shared between these devices. So I still have the benefit of being able to route my signal through other nodes that are available. So you could go out with a group of friends, like hiking if there's no cell service, snowmobiling, ATVing. You hand one of these to your buddy, right? And you have him Bluetooth it to his phone, and you slip this into your pocket, right? You go to pull over, where's your friend? You can look on your phone, and you're going to get location-based services. So you go, oh yeah, but we could, some people, trying to hand someone a handheld radio, we've all seen what happens, right? They change the channels, whatever. If these things, you set it up, it's right on their phone. Even to turn this off, I'll show you, I'll turn it on. So you can see you have to deliberately hold that button. So it's on now. To turn it off, pressing the button. Oh, I didn't hold it long enough. As you can see, these are difficult to accidentally turn off. Oh, son of a gun. I jumped the gun. So when it does that, it means it's off. So these are difficult to accidentally turn off. People understand Bluetooth, so you Bluetooth this to your phone, and people understand group chats. And this is basically, if you think about it, people have used Bofangs before or GMRS. This is the radio. The phone is the GUI. And the GUI is already laid out in a form factor that non-radio people will pick up instantly. So real world use case, I think the Meshtastic's a win. For when you're going somewhere with a group of people. I definitely think I'm going to get some more of these. They're so easy to set up. They're inexpensive. The build quality is pretty good on them, in my opinion. Like I said, these are commercially bought. I 3D printed the belt holster case. You can clip that onto a backpack or whatever. This is a Helltech that I 3D printed the case. These also have a temperature and barometer. They have environmental sensors in them, which is kind of funny. Quite a bit packed into this. Mine's only a radio and GPS. This is a radio, GPS, and barometer, or environmental sensors. Granted, I have more milliamp hours with the battery that's in this, but there's nothing to this. Like, my wife and daughter had these running for 6 hours, and there was no battery issues while we were at the hamfest. So anyways, I just wanted to say, you know, real world, I'm digging the Meshtastic stuff. Yeah, it's not the same as ham radio, CB radio, but just like kind of handing out radios for impromptu communications, I think it's thumbs up. You know, like Saturday night, having a little fun on the radio, chasing some DX. That's not what Meshtastic is. But, you know, setting up some communications, you could set up a community watch or a neighborhood watch with these. In the event of, you know, power outage, extended power outage, and cell towers weren't working, you could hand these out and have communications. And, you know, I want to point out too, like, I have a node at my house. Like, I'm communicating like locally, you know, out to 20 miles. And the network keeps getting bigger and bigger. There's potential to maybe communicate out to 70 miles if we get some nodes put in other places. So anyways, that's it. Radio Man out.